Well, once again, thank you to my panelists and talking about culture. And right now, we are going back to the exciting pitches of the 50 Founders Battle. Right now, we will hear the next few very, very promising startups from all over Europe who are competing for a huge slew of prizes, a lot of money and a lot of investment, and not just that. But before we do, I want to introduce the jury for batch 2, who are sitting in these amazing high chairs with all the light reflected on you. You will have the opportunity to ask questions to our amazing startups. And first, but I would like to also kind of ask you to introduce yourselves a little bit. And let's start with ladies, as always. Greta, Monstavice, Katalista Ventures.
Hi, everyone. Greta, CEO and co-founder of Katalista Ventures. We are accelerating and investing in impact startups. So very excited to hear more from the startups.
A round of applause. Helery Pops, Honey Badger Ventures. Wonderful name.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Helery. I invest the money of Pipedrive founders with Honey Badger Capital. We're pre-seed and seed, and also directed towards impact recently.
Thank you. Mitch Yang, Taiwania Capital.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. I'm Mitch Yang. Taiwania Capital comes to this region with this 200 million CE fund to invest in Series A and Series B companies. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, if you are a startup in the audience, these are the people you should go and try to catch and find and headhunt a little bit. Kaan, Eren, 500 Emerging Europe.
So thank you, everyone, for having us. I'm an investment manager at 500 Emerging Europe. We're a 70 million euro pre-seed and seed fund investing in Baltic, Eastern European, and Turkish founders under the broader 500 Global umbrella, used to be known as 500 Startups.
And welcome to Emerging Europe. I know you have quite a history in US, but and last but not least, oh, I'm sorry, applause. Don't forget. And last but not least, Kevin Lösch from Inventure.
Thanks for having me. I'm Kevin from Inventure. We are a Finnish-based fund, offices in Stockholm, and we're by far like the largest seed fund now. We just raised Fund 4 with 150 million and still fundraising upwards. So happy to be here.
Amazing. And this will be our strict jury who will decide which ones of the startups pitching in this batch will go to the next round tomorrow. And let's begin. I will just remind each startup has 3 very strict minutes to pitch, and then we will give 2 minutes for a few questions from the jury. And let's start with the first one. Fryda, a digital wallet for valuable products.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Boudewijn Bos, and I have 10 years of experience in building, launching, and managing IT product portfolios. But today I'm here as one of the co-founders and CEO of Fryda. Fryda is a digital wallet for your physical valuable products that automatically connects consumers and businesses to the products that they sold. The problem businesses face is that they spend a lot on acquisition, but they often only get one sale in return. One of the reasons for this is that the CRM sendouts that they send out are not targeted towards the products consumers own, giving low response rates and even lower ROIs. Another reason is that when a product enters the second-hand market, the business cannot stay in contact with the product. So for businesses, Fryda is a SaaS platform that directly connects consumers and businesses to their products post-purchase, enabling them to send better targeted CRM sendouts and to stay in contact with the product when it switches owners on the second-hand market. So what's in it for consumers? Well, last week, the washer that my fiancé and me got with the apartment that we bought 2 years ago broke down. but we were never given the original purchase receipt, any warranty information, or any other important registry information about the product. So for consumers, Fryda is a free digital wallet that stores and manages your physical valuable products, their imported information. Next to that, when you decide to sell your product, you click one button to transfer all relevant information on to the next owner. The post-seed market is slowly gaining momentum. One of our competitors recently raised a post-seed round for expansion reasons, but that competitor and the others in our hemisphere have a different focus on a different product category and have a less automated solution than we have. We currently have 8 B2B pilots signed, 3 are live, and in the coming weeks we will launch with multinationals like Tele2 Sweden and MediaMarkt Benelux. On the consumer side, we've not spent anything on marketing, but our iOS prototype has a 6% month-on-month growth rate, and products are being added with a 9% month-on-month growth rate. We're currently a team of 4 with experience in venture building, growth hacking, product development, full-stack development, and design. All the areas of expertise that we need in the coming years to grow. I'm here today to raise a round of 400,000 euros, a pre-seed round, and I'm looking for investors to join. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Nice. Beautiful pictures. So, dear jury, any questions? Helery.
So what's your go-to-market strategy? And thank you for the pitch.
Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What's your go-to-market strategy?
So we're mainly focused now at doing B2B pilots, because the moment we do the pilots with B2Bs, we can freely gain B2C users on the wallet side. So there's a free acquisition strategy in the first couple of months.
Greta?
Thanks a lot for the presentation. Can you share, out of the B2B pilots that you've already done, what is the main benefit that the potential clients see, and what is one challenge that you see?
Great question. The main benefit is different for everybody. I mean, it is supposed to solve different problems for everybody, but what we've heard so far is that quite a lot of consumers, at least, were able to get either refunds on their products or sell it easier to a next person without having to find all the important information. One of the challenges is that we've really identified that our target market or target consumer sits between 25 and 65, because everything actually above that does not care for receipts or does not care for handling products like this.
Time for one more question. Kevin.
Thanks for the great pitch. Tell us a bit more kind of like how you're going to create the moat in your product, the defensibility.
How we're going to create a defensibility, you said. Well, I think at the end of the day, what we're going to be for businesses is we're going to be a button at the end of their purchase journey on their e-com platforms. So the moment we are the button on the e-com platforms, that's when we have the deal with the business and the consumer. So that is one way of setting it off. And I'm sorry, was there a second question? I forgot. Okay.
Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you.
Next, let's move on to the next startup. I hope I'm saying this right. Sqrino, right? Yeah. Right. Welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, I'm Dennis from the Sqrino team, and Sqrino is a platform for companies of all sizes and shapes to improve their own information security and showcase their trustworthy vendors to prospects. Imagine you are building a B2B SaaS startup. You just raise a small pre-seed, you mix and match off-the-shelf softwares. Security is not priority for you now, as you believe that it is so for the company that builds the software on top of which you are building. Something's working, and you decide to go upmarket, to start selling to enterprise-scale companies. Everything's moving fast, and then it slows down, because you will ask to respond to a vendor risk questionnaire or even provide your security certificate then. We've seen a lot of such companies go through such situations. They struggle then to answer spreadsheets with yes and no questions, send penetration tests and documents prepared by the CTOs, but that's usually not enough nowadays, because your ability to take continuous care of somebody's data is what actually matters, and not your compliance at a single point in time. Luckily, there is a way out. We figured out how to take a lot of jargon text out of the global gold security standard and break it down into component pieces. We call them tests that can further be coded, automated, and checked against continuously. So this allows us to build a suite of automated security tools that scan and verify your company's compliance at every time. Imagine again, no more filling out customized questionnaires, just one certificate sent to every prospect, and no more pre-audit scramble, since the tool documents your current security posture, so you can refer it whenever needed. Our business model is pretty straightforward. It's based on a company size and certifications a company wants to get. We aren't alone in the market. It's growing, with many software companies now getting compliant by the time they hit 20 employees or even less. And we also, what we can see is that compliant software can be extremely sticky if it works like advertised. So there is some sort of rush in the market to win new customers early. So there is still a lot of manual process in our first security framework, but we've got a little bit confident with that. Sorry. And we need more engineers in order to automate the process and ideally have at least as much integrations as our competitors. So don't be stuck down market, join our efforts, and get your next big deal over the line with us in confidence. Thank you.
Well, the jury, the chairs are yours. Kevin.
Hey, thank you for the pitch. What's your ideal customer profile? Smaller startups or larger companies as well? And second question, what's your biggest challenge into signing demos or selling to the first clients? Is it the number of integrations?
If you allow me, I will start with the second one. So yes, we are currently in the process of integrating some software to our platform, so it's currently not feasible to demonstrate all the functionality of the platform. So it's about technical issues. Talking about our target audience, I've told it's actually all the companies of all sizes and shapes, but this is actually what is done for the time being on the market with other security automation tools. But if we want to differentiate ourselves, we see that this can actually be IoT companies, so AI-powered companies, so all data-driven, so working with smart connected devices. So we want to go this direction. As we know, there is a new regulation coming in the EU concerning AI system certification, and there is still already one in place concerning machinery powered by AI systems. So we want to differentiate ourselves within this field.
Mitch.
Could you tell us about your team? Is any expert in the area?
Yeah, can we? There is a team of 4. So me, I have 15 years of experience in conformity assessment and standardization. I also trained to train on this standard. So we have in a team a lead auditor on this standard, and he also have a previous experience in coding. And we have full stack developer and product owner, so all professionals.
Thank you. Let's give some love.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for our next startup, it's called Salesforge, an all-in-one sales app. Welcome.
Hello, TechChill. It's good to be here. As I'm a fellow Latvian, never been to TechChill, it's a fantastic opportunity to present a startup named Salesforge. We're on a mission to bring to B2B sales teams 10x pipeline. So over a decade of sales experience, whether that's leading large sales teams or being an individual sales contributor, I always had a humongous struggle to scale cold email outreach and so that it's personalized to every single individual. So what does that mean? So emails, when you launch them and when you send a lot of emails out there, a lot of them land into spam. Also, when you send a lot of emails, because you need to personalize, you're actually ending up sending a lot of templates. And then the last piece is, if you're looking to really scale your outreach and generate a lot of revenue from your outbound efforts, you really need to get a lot of sales reps. So it's a humongous problem. And what you're seeing on the right-hand side is the impact that you can have with personalization at scale. So how we're able to achieve that is ultimately when you're looking to send to thousands of people a cold and personalized email. Say we have here companies like Teslanet, Watergraph, many other companies, so really thousands of prospects, and we're looking to send that personalized email to all of them. We need to actually connect multiple mailboxes to the software. That's ultimately what we do. Because when you're sending more than 50 emails a day, Google doesn't like that. Google starts to send a lot of your emails into spam, starts to suspend your account. So really, the only workaround is to connect multiple mailboxes. So imagine when you have like 20, 30 mailboxes as a single sales rep out there. So you need to also go through an email warm-up process. So this is ultimately where companies are sending emails to each other, and there's an automatic reply. That reply is a good signal to the Google email server or Microsoft Outlook server saying that this is a legit inbox, and please do not send those emails into spam. This is really what allows you to send those emails into the primary inbox of the recipient. And last but not least is you want to validate those email addresses before you're sending them out, because if you have a bounce rate of over 1%, that also hurts your deliverability. Then naturally, from a personalization standpoint, is we're matching buyer and seller data. So how do we do that? As part of our onboarding, we ask all the questions from the company about which industry they're in, what's their ICP, what's the pain point that they're tackling, and then the buyer data, we're actually taking that from LinkedIn URL or Twitter URL or the website, so publicly available information that allows us to match that push-through or OpenAI, GPT-4 right now, and really craft that unique email that results in 10x reply rate to the existing reply rate you're probably seeing today. And off we go. So how do we build that defensibility? The jury is probably going to ask, because a lot of apps out there use generative AI. And the way we're going to do that is by building a data layer behind the scenes. So we're labeling all these companies, and then what we're doing is we're clustering all these companies that exhibit similar traits. And then when we're running our machine learning models or generative AI models, we're going to be doing that from the cluster of those companies that are similar to each other, right? So we're using a concept called federated learning in machine learning to do that. And then the outputs, so the prediction outputs, go back into the execution engine, and then there's learnings that go back into the data layer where the person has responded or not, and that creates that network, neural network effect where the outputs will become better over time. So the market is really humongous. Our SOM is $450 million across the whole world, where we're targeting specifically EMEA and North America. Thanks.
3 minutes. Sorry, but that's the challenge of the pitch battle. The jury, Kevin.
Great pitch and great energy. I liked it. How did you go about customer discovery? Like how you figure out who's your perfect customer profile?
So perfect customer profile for us in the early days will be actually cold email agencies. So they usually service around 10 clients on average. So we already have 6 pilots secured, predominantly with cold email agencies in Europe. And once the pilots become successful with the one client, then they're looking to roll out across multiple other clients. But ultimately, we are looking long-term to service a lot of B2B SaaS companies, where we want to go to every CFO out there and every VP sales and say, hey, listen, to hit your target for the year, come to us, because we'll be able to do that with the least number of reps. And we should drastically reduce the CAC.
Greta. Sorry, yeah, Greta. Sorry, my spelling is not great.
That's okay. That's okay. Can you talk about traction for us?
Sure. We have over 100 companies right now on the wait list. If you want to join, please go to salesforge.ai. We have 6 pilots right now secured. We're speaking to 10 companies today, where we're looking to secure half of them being also pilot customers. And we have 4 paid pre-orders right now with our app.
Mitch, you had a question.
A lot of companies outsource their email campaigns, both inbound and outbound. So how do you look at that?
Exactly. So these are the agencies that you are sourced to. 5 out of 6 pilots are exactly with them.
Yeah, Kaan, I think you had the question.
Yes,
we are doing very fast this time.
I'm curious about the origin story. How did you get this idea?
Sure. So I used to work for a company based in New York called BlackRock.ai, where I used to sell machine learning as a SaaS. And I saw the humongous efficiency gains that you can have in your bottom line. And then I thought to myself, hey, in the world of sales, you don't have the structured data sets. Nobody's running any machine learning models. Nobody's doing anything when it comes to generative AI on scale, personalizing the email, sending them at the right time, etc. That's where the seed for the idea came out. So ultimately, I'm replicating what works really right now in the world of MarTech. So when you look at Google, the machine learning models, when you look at Facebook, etc., and I'm looking really to replicate that in the world of sales, structuring the data sets, all the companies' ICPs, and then running machine learning models and generative AI against those clusters by crunching the non-PII data using federated learning approach. Thank you.
Amazing. Great drive. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next startup in our current batch. It's called Boop, and it wants to become the next super app for the pet industry. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gediminas, and I'm a co-founder and CTO of Boop. So while I'm here in Latvia, I need someone to take care of my pet back at home. It's always a challenge to find such a person if you try it, right? So it turns out that more than 60% of millennials skip travel because they cannot find anyone available. Of those who try commercial options, they're usually not really satisfied with the quality and also the cost. That's why we created Boop. It's an online marketplace for pet B&B type of services that connects pet owners with pet lovers around who are willing to help for a fee. Our product is a mobile app that helps find a service, also provides payments, insurance, which is very important for trust, vet consultations, and some community features as well. For the customer, clients can find loving pet sitters around their area, and all of that for only 50% of the cost. So we actually are at the end of our pre-seed round. We've raised 300,000 euros right now. And we are looking to start conversations with investors who might be interested to join us for the next round, where we will be seeking up to 1 million euro. If we look at the competition map, we see that we have a very big player in the US market, with some modest sales in the Western Europe. All the other competitors are much smaller, but we have a very good opportunity in Central and Eastern Europe. In the European Union alone, there are 90 million households with pets. Considering that everyone needs to take vacations, need to travel, we are looking at a market share of up to 40 billion. Our business model revolves around 3 revenue streams, all based on commission. So we charge around 20% for services, for annual pet insurance packages, and also for annual veterinary check plans. We are a team of 4, experienced with building marketplaces and also scaling them across countries. We had some moderate success last year when we validated our product in Lithuania. This year, we increased the investment, and we see a rapid growth in the number of customers and the average spend. More than 40% of our orders come from customers who are repeated customers. And by the end of 2024, we intend to reach 30,000 monthly recurring revenue with 15% adjusted EBITDA rate margin. This would require 300,000 users across Baltics and Poland. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you for your pitch. I was wondering, you mentioned expanding a couple of times. How do you plan on expanding to new markets?
Yes, so the question is about how we plan to spend the money on the market, right? To go into the market. So we rely heavily on targeted ads. This is our main medium to attract customers. So more than half of that budget would go into marketing. So.
Thank you, Helery. Who's next? Kevin.
Thanks. We actually invested in Lassi, who basically pet insurance, right? So some adjacent offerings to yours. So how did you go about prioritization? Because you mentioned at the vet care marketplace, you have the insurance, and then you have the third pillar. Kind of like, how do you cope with the prioritization of it? Because I mean, each and every product of those is large enough to kind of like build a deep enough market. So how did you go to decide that you go overall, kind of like the broad value chain instead of like focusing on one part of it?
Yeah, so our main market is the services that people, well, basically client-to-client services that we offer. And this is not enough to make a profitable business. Since we have the customers already, we have a lot of their data. We can provide personalized suggestions. For example, for annual insurance, we have a trusted partner, If Insurance in the Baltics for that. And the veterinary clinics basically appeared as B2B customers. We are working with them just for extra revenue, basically.
I think we can squeeze in one more. Anyone? Oh, yep.
What are the B2B customers?
Sorry?
What are the B2B customers that you mentioned?
Yes, so we would be selling directly to the veterinary clinics. We mentioned the annual veterinary check packages. So basically, we would work with the clinics and offer some kind of pass that would allow to get some of the services annually.
Thank you. A round of applause to Boop.
Thank you.
And let's move on to Hotelbuddy. It's a startup that wants to digitize, or already does digitize, the hotel guest journey from check-in to check-out.
Hello, my name is Kadi, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hotelbuddy. Hotelbuddy is a solution that enables the hotels to fully digitalize the guest journey. We created Hotelbuddy to help the hotels to reduce the amount of manual labor while increasing their profitability. But most importantly, to change the way that you experience your hotel stay. COVID hit the tourism sector hard. 62 million jobs were lost. Although by now the hotel occupancy is already recovering, the hotels globally are still reporting huge staff shortages. One of the worst bottlenecks in the hotels is the manual check-in, as it used to be for airports about 10 years ago. Since then, the airlines have digitized their customer journey, but the hotels are still struggling to find a good solution. Last but not least, the customer expectations have changed dramatically. And it is not just the Gen Zs or the millennials who don't appreciate their time being wasted. It is all of us. So, stop wasting your valuable time and choose Hotelbuddy. With Hotelbuddy, you can check in and pay, order services, chat with the hotel staff, and open your room door. You can even use Hotelbuddy to cast your favorite Netflix series straight to the hotel TV without any pairing or logins. And of course, this is a win-win situation for the hotels, as now they have the customers doing the job themselves. Our business model is simple. We're a B2B SaaS-driven company with a lightweight hardware component that we offer to the hotels for a monthly fee. The hardware makes the business sticky, as it enables us to sign the hotels up to a minimum of 48 months. But let's have a quick look at our results. 2022 was our first fully operational year, and it was a success. Our traction grew nearly a sixfold, and our revenues increased by 300%. And this is just the beginning. The market out there is huge, and we have already successfully entered one of the biggest tourism markets in Europe, Italy. What is even better, there's only a handful of competition offering a similar solution in the same space. However, we have a truly unique advantage. Our advantage lies in our tech. We have developed a unique IoT-based solution that enables us to open the room doors. And thus far, we have not seen anyone else doing the same. We are a team of 10 highly skilled professionals, and we together are ready to take the next step to scale across the European markets. But for that, we need your help. We are currently raising our seed round to further develop our product and bring the hotels to the 21st century. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, who's ready? Helery.
Thank you for the pitch. I was wondering about the hardware. Do you produce and design it yourself?
Yes, so different components we are ordering from different countries, mainly from China and Taiwan, and the hardware is put together here in Estonia.
Do you have an ideal customer profile, like boutique hotels or something like that?
Yeah, our customers are independent hotels and hotel groups, and basically, normally they are mid-size, so more than 50 rooms, and so far, our main customers have been kind of high-end 4-star and 5-star hotels, but we are also seeing a lot of interest from 2- and 3-star hotels because they are really looking ways to cut down the reception and go fully automatic.
Thank you.
Greta.
Thanks a lot for your pitch. How much do the hotels have to change in their whole services that they are running right now?
Thank you for the question. So onboarding our solution is fairly easy for the hotels. Basically, we give them an additional way to serve their customers. We have the integration with their PMS. The onboarding takes actually a few hours and then some time from the hotel side to add like their extra services and descriptions. And then we have 2 trainings, one for the super users and one for the reception team, and then they are ready to go live. The other part is the hardware. The hardware can be installed by the hotels themselves. It takes about 10 minutes to install one chip, and we can actually configure everything remotely from our Tallinn office.
Who is paying for the hardware?
The hardware is basically normally hidden in the subscription fee. The cost for the chip is around 20 euros, and we actually make the money back within 5 months.
Thank you. Let's clap for Hotelbuddy. Great job. Let's give the stage to our next startup, Sisko. You're working for women in perimenopause. Really interesting problem. Welcome.
Sisko is a digital healthcare company for women and other people with vulvas. I am Kia. I'm co-founder in Sisko. I'm a gynecologist, and I have met over 10,000 patients during my career. And what I see is that women seek and get medical help too late. And this is especially true when they are approaching menopause, because that is still a taboo. 150 billion. That is the productivity loss menopause symptoms cause. This is just how scattered the customer journey looks today, because there are 50 different symptoms in menopause, and neither women or doctors recognize all of those. Usually, women get help when they are approaching their 50s, get hot flashes or other typical symptoms. But we want to help these women already here, when 5 to 10 years earlier. And these women, these are me, your friends, your colleagues, your partners, or, for example, Kim Kardashian. What we do with Sisko is that we track your cycle, we track your symptoms, and based on that data, we give you personalized information about your health and tell you what is normal and what is not, so that you can get help and seek help. We give you that help on our digital clinic, where we can have effective appointments due to all this gathered data. The menopause vertical is expected to be one of the fastest growing in the femtech space. We are both cycle tracking and menopause, and that is unique. Our team is 5 women with strong expertise from medical, legal, marketing, management, and tech. Our early traction is 669 waitlist signups during the first 2 weeks. And out of these, we picked a pilot group who are paying 99 euros for 6 months. And we are testing our features with them. And 10 out of 10 of the pilots say that they get value for money and that they have made concrete changes in their lives. Now we are raising 400K to launch our first product in our test market. Our long-term vision is to cover all of the life phases in women's and other people with vulvas' lives. Knowledge is power, also when it comes to your health. Thank you.
Ooh. That's really nice, really refreshing to see that management team. Kevin.
Hey, great pitch. It's a bit of an unfair question I'm going to ask now, but because it's too early to say, but how do you go about out-of-pocket versus reimbursement? I mean, on the regulatory side, to get this into reimbursement probably takes some time and a lot of thought leadership, but kind of like, because where I'm actually going to is kind of like the customer acquisition cost at one point will kind of like blow up, because that's kind of like basically what personal healthcare looks like, unfortunately, as of today. So have you already kind of like touched base with the regulatory side if this is something on the payer perspective which could be reimbursed instead of out-of-pocket?
Well, now we are testing in Finland, which is our test market, and we use both paid and organic media, and that is something that we will investigate more.
Mitch, you had a question?
Same question.
Oh. Helery.
Thank you for the pitch. I was wondering, what's the potential lifetime value of your customers?
So now we have calculated that we expect them to stay for 18 months with us, and they pay on subscription base 19 euros per month. So it is something in 200 euros, what we expect.
Greta.
Yeah, thanks for the pitch. I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking menopause may be quite an emotional topic for some women, right? Because it signals a new stage of her life. So how do you, what's the value proposition that you get the women on the platform, knowing that you may be in neglect to some extent?
Yes, thanks for the question. It's really interesting. That's because we also do cycle tracking, and we are relevant for women in their 40s, but then we also give them information so that they can prepare, because we know that the knowledge can also be a bit cause anxiousness, but we know that when they get information, that adds their health.
Thank you. Wonderful pitch. Next up, we have quite an interesting offer. Welcome Yeastime, a biotech startup that's targeting breweries.
Hi everyone, my name is Pierfrancesco Mazzolini, CEO and co-founder of Yeastime. So in Yeastime, we have developed an innovative solution which leverages ultrasound technology to help producers in the field of cell culturing accelerate the productive activity of their fermenters and reduce the costs related to their fermentation process. So both small and big players are facing several challenges in this industry, and they can be summed up into three main pain points, which are their need to reduce the cost from the production of their ingredients, their need to increase the production efficiency of their fermenters, and their need to minimize the CO2 emissions emitted during the process. So current fermenters right now in their market have not changed for decades. In fact, they're characterized by their fixed time and their fixed yield. So in order to create innovation in this market, we have developed and patented YT01, which is a retrofitting and modular device which can be applied to the geometry of any type of fermenter. So in the last year and a half since our establishment, we have closely monitored the model microorganism of the yeast, applying it on beer brewing fermentation, where we have achieved impressive results. In fact, we have reduced the fermentation time of the process by 30%, increasing the yield in time, and most of all, on altering the quality of the product. So together with our hardware device, we have also developed a monitoring platform which can deliver to our client the possibility to both monitor the frequencies emitted by our hardware and monitor also the main parameters of the fermentation process in real time. So by installing our hardware device in their facility, our clients can benefit not only in terms of increases in production, but also in terms of increases in profit and reduction in CO2 levels. So we have a really simple business model. We monetize from the unit sale of our device, depending on a different range and volume of fermenters, and from annual recurring revenues generated by our maintenance services. We have recently closed a binding pre-contract with a target client, and in our sales pipeline, we aim to reach 300K by the end of the year. So, however, it's not only beer. Our long-term goal is to position ourselves as process optimizers in a wide range of fermented products. In fact, in the next month, we're going to test our devices on lab scale for yogurt production, and by the end of the year, we want to test on precision fermentation. So we are slowly adding the skill sets needed in order to scale up what is the applicability of our technology in different verticals. Our team is composed by industrial biotechnologists, protein production specialists, physicians, electrical engineers, full-stack developers, and business developers. So our roadmap is by the end of the year to enter the market. And in order to do this, we are seeking for a $500K investment for the production scale-up of our device and to unlock our R&D potential. Thank you very much.
Nice timing, very smooth. I think even beer is up for disruption. Helery.
Thank you for your pitch. I was wondering, how quickly will your customers make back the investment that they make?
Yes, so thank you very much for the question. So we are now, in the next month, we are speaking to contract manufacturers in order to outsource the development of our technology to reach the volumes needed by our clients. We are going to install the first 13 devices by the end of the year, and we are aiming for them to reach 200K profit in a 1 year time by using our devices. The cost with 13 devices is going to be 60K.
Any other questions from the jury? Kaan.
I'm trying to understand the value chain. Is your clients the beer producers, or there's a fermenter in between?
Yeah, so our clients are beer producers. Specifically, right now, they're craft brewers who produce from 300,000 liters a year up to 2 million liters a year. So what is our target for our clients are the number of fermenters that they have in their facilities. So the fermentation range of products is it's really vast. In fact, a beer producer have the same type of fermenter as yogurt producer, for instance, as kombucha producer. So the fermenter is going to be the same. It only changes what is the fermentation process and the target microorganism for different products.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yeastime. And let's welcome our next startup. It's called SOVN. It's smart biosensing earbuds. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lena. I'm CEO of SOVN. So a few years ago, I woke up with broken pieces of plastics in my mouth. You might be wondering, why do I have broken pieces of plastic in my mouth? Well, like many of you and millions of people around the world, I grind and clench my teeth subconsciously in my sleep. This caused me chronic headaches, jaw pain, expensive dental issues. The list just goes on. I was given two choices, mouth guard, which clearly did not do anything, or Botox to paralyze my jaw muscles, no thank you. And now, I work as a medical device developer my whole life, and I thought there's got to be a better solution. And I'm not alone either in thinking this. My co-founder and I spoke to hundreds of people with the same issue. We hear the same thing all the time. We're frustrated by how ineffective current solutions are. And it need not be that way. There are already multiple studies that show giving someone sensory feedback when they grind their teeth actually lowers the behavior by 50%. Consistently. So this insight gave us the confidence to build a team of engineers, product designers, machine learning specialists, and we created SOVN. So what is SOVN? It's the world's first smart earbuds that detect when someone grinds their teeth and deliver soothing vibration. The accompaniment app also helps users track different behaviors that could influence their grinding and clenching. For example, your caffeine consumption or your stress level. And unlike our competitors, we think comfort should be our top priority, which is why we picked the ear as a natural place to monitor and manage this behavior. And to let you in on a little secret, this also allows us to expand into other applications. After 1.5 years of research, multiple iterations, we finally have a working prototype. And we have 2 filed patents. And this is the exciting part. We already have more than 30,000 in pre-sales before we even launch. Every week, we get questions from people asking when they can buy the product. Talking about product market fit, this is it. OK, so we're now raising $1 million to build V1 and get ready for launch. We are selling directly to customers initially, though we plan to scale using healthcare providers and channel partners. So let's see. Oh, I still have 20 seconds. We have a great team, a groundbreaking product, a big market, and a vision to bring this much-needed solution to millions of people around the world. If you're as excited about this as I am, we are looking for investors to fill our round. Thank you so much.
Nice, beautiful pitch. Well, the chairs are yours, the jury. Helery.
Thank you so much. What's the price of one device?
Yeah, so the price for one device is around 300 to 400 euros, depending on discounts. And there's also the subscription part of it, which is 8 per month.
Kaan.
You mentioned you can expand also your offering into further verticals. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. So what's unique about teeth grinding or clenching bruxism is actually related to other conditions as well. For example, sleep apnea, migraine, depression, chronic pain. So these are the things that we can, with our current technology and platform, starts to monitor and probably even address.
Mitch?
What's your schedule in filing your regulatory compliance? And are you looking for Class 2A or Class 2B in CE?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Regulatory, right? So you're looking for reimbursement, and you need that. In EU, you need CE Class 2, A or B, right? It looks like you have to go for Class 2B.
Yeah, so really good questions. The reason why also we start with teeth grinding and clenching is because in dental market, most people are paying out of pocket in a lot of countries. So this gives us a baseline, so to speak. But we do plan to go for regulatory. You're right, Class 2. And in the US, it'll be Class 2 510K exempt. And that will give us the opportunity to get reimbursement for some of the other indications.
Kaan?
I actually grind my teeth, and a couple of weeks ago, I got a jaw Botox, and I'm very happy with it. Are there any other downsides that I should know?
Well, the unfortunate thing about Botox is it tends to lose effect after 3 to 6 months, depending on the person. And based on anecdotal data, the relief that you get from Botox seems to be less and less with multiple injections. So if it works for you, awesome. But unfortunately, for some people, it's just not a solution.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. Oh. And we are very much close to closing our second batch. So let me welcome on stage the last startup of batch 2, Lendorse. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'm Bjorn. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Lendorse. And today, I'll tell you the story of Sanya. Sanya was born in Kyrgyzstan, and she graduated top of her class with a bachelor in bioengineering. Her dream is to go to Germany for a master's degree, and afterwards work in a pharma company like BioNTech. She got accepted to TU Munich, which is one of the best universities in the country, but unfortunately, she couldn't afford to go for financial reasons. And with this, Sanya is not alone. Globally, there's 167 million students in developing and emerging countries, many of whom would like to come to Europe, but most can't afford to. At the same time, there's a massive labor shortage in the EU, with 50% of the companies already reporting a lack of high-skilled talent right now, and by 2050, there will be a 44 million talent gap in Europe. This is where Lendorse comes in. We're financing the cost of tuition and cost of living, and provide career support for students like Sanya. In return, they pay a percentage of their income after they graduate, an income share agreement. There's a couple of financing options for domestic students. from government to loans or others. But for international students, it's a lot tougher. Outside of a few scholarships, most have to rely on wealthy family members, or if they don't have those, they can't afford to go at all. And this is where Lendorse comes in. We're identifying the most talented students using 150 data points in our proprietary risk scoring model. And after selecting them, we make sure they succeed. We're providing a platform, matching them with relevant employers and mentors, and giving them access to financial and career services and products, creating a lifelong financial and career ecosystems for high-skilled immigrants in Europe. We make money through an upfront origination fee, a share of the student's repayment, and value-added services afterwards. In terms of tractions, we have processed more than 500 applications. We have created a gigantic pipeline of more than 15,000 leads through B2B2C partnerships, and we have deployed 200,000 euros. And today, Sanja is actually studying in Munich. The team behind this is in place. We have underwriters, engineers, and a very strong team behind all this. And our vision, what we want to achieve, is to make sure that not just Sanja, but any student can fulfill their full potential, no matter where they're born. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, last startup, last opportunity to ask some challenging questions. So, Greta.
Hey, thanks a lot. I think it's a very impactful solution. Can you share what is the average loan size and how long does it take for the student to repay?
Sure. Average income share agreement size is just under 10,000 euros right now. We're focusing on STEM students in the DACH region and kind of Central Europe, so it's just below 10,000 euros. And the repayment, it depends a little bit on the size of the ISA and on the subject itself and a couple of other factors, but it's between 3 to 5 years. And the share which we're taking is usually something 6 to 10% of the income.
Kevin.
Do you have currently a debt provider to collaborate with to give out the loans?
So the first two SPVs, we pooled together individual angels. This is how we get the first 200K. We're now discussing with the debt provider about a line of credit, but the precondition to get the line of credit is to close our equity round. We're almost done closing the equity round, and afterwards we get the debt in place.
And the repayment interest, is it dependent on the income after graduation?
Yes,
or,
this is a sole factor.
Okay, okay.
If the student earns more, they repay more, which means the strong shoulders are kind of carrying more than their weight.
So pretty much like Deutsche Bildung in a sense.
In some sense, it's similar, but it's a different target group and it's a different scoring model.
Helery.
Thank you. What does it take to scale this?
Second?
What does it take to scale this?
So to scale it up further, the first thing is getting the students in. We already have built partnerships and we have a strong pipeline of the students. And the second one is to get the money in. This is what we're currently discussing with lending. And then it's just about operational scaling internally. We have built an automated scoring and processing platform to make sure that we can process thousands of students automatically.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's give a huge round of applause to all of our startups and our wonderful jury for batch 2. Thank you.